Today I'm in the beautiful gardens of Newnham College in Cambridge, and these gardens truly are spectacular. A moment please for the gardening team of Newnham College, because they've done a pretty terrific job. But I'm here today to trace the footsteps of the life of the young Rosalind Franklin, who was once upon a time a student here, and I've written about her in my new book 18, which is a history of Britain in 18 young lives. So I'm looking at 18 brilliant young people in British history, and Rosalind is one of them. So I'd love it if I could just read to you a few of the passages from the book. And this is a passage which is all about Rosalind arriving here at Newnham. So, hope you're sitting comfortably. Of course, Rosalind didn't quite follow in their footsteps. When she arrived at university in 1938, she wasn't considered, as a woman, to be a proper student. Women were first admitted to Cambridge in 1869, but couldn't be granted degrees until 1948. That's 10 years after Rosalind arrived. Cambridge was the last British university to do so. Two girls' colleges were established on the outskirts of town, Girton in 1869 and Newnham in 1871, which is where Rosalind was given a room. These colleges were distinctly different from the traditional Cambridge vibe. There was no honey-coloured courts with perfectly square lawns. Instead, they had the spirit of large, comfortable Victorian country houses. Newnham has red brick walls with white sash windows, staircases with solid banisters, Dutch gables and mansard attics. There are 17 acres of sprawling grounds too, with white iceberg roses underplanted with black Queen of the Night tulips, formal gardens with ponds, where the air is filled with the sweet scent of lavender, pristinely maintained lawns dotted with limes, oaks and yews, and herbaceous borders of giant alliums, orange poppies and sunshine yellow peonies. So that gives you a sense of the beauty of Newnham College and its gardens. And of course, Rosalind arrived here in 1938, which for a young Jewish girl was a particularly difficult time, being the years leading up to the Second World War. And I've written about Rosalind while she was here during the Second World War too, if I can find the page. Okay, here we go. The university rolled into war preparations with air raid precautions and evacuation plans put in place. Rosalind found it ridiculous and unnecessary. There is some scheme, she wrote, for digging trenches in the cabbage patch and rehearsing emptying Newnham into the trenches in 5 minutes. These rehearsals could be farcical at times. This is what she wrote about it. One of the dons was standing outside my room waiting to blow a whistle at the given signal. The signal came and the whistle would not blow. However, as everybody expected it, the intermittent squeaks told them what was meant. We then had to assemble at the garden door, dressed with coats, blankets and gas masks, all ready for the grand exit, when Mrs. P, that's the tutor, discovered she had the wrong key. So we could not get out. Long delay while the correct key was found. There was excitement too. There are only 2 topics of conversation in Newnham at present, Rosalind wrote in her letters home. 1, exams, and 2, skeletons. While the gardens were dug up to create ARP shelters, a pickaxe went straight through the skull of a Saxon skeleton. Newnhamite archaeologists flocked to the scene with dessert spoons and toothbrushes. They are really most exciting, Rosalind wrote to the skeletons. They were all facing east, therefore Christian. Even in the bleakest of times, Rosalind could find something to keep her spirits up. So that gives you a sense of Rosalind's life here as a student at Newnham. And of course, she would go on to become a brilliant scientist, perhaps one of the best ever, because her work was central to our understanding of DNA. And it is a great tragedy that she died so young in 1958. But this is the final paragraph in the chapter of Rosalind Franklin. It is quite incredible thinking of what Rosalind achieved at such a young age, just a few years after arriving at Cambridge as an undergrad. In such a short space of time, she became one of Britain's great scientists in the league of Lovelace, Fleming and Darwin. Perhaps you can sympathise with how Jennifer, her sister, put it. We, her family, never really understood what she was doing, only felt awe and pride. And so I hope you might be inspired to buy a copy of my new book, 18. I hope you might enjoy reading about Rosalind's life, but I hope it does more than that. Perhaps you're inspired to come and visit the beautiful colleges here in Cambridge, or even perhaps there are some young scientists amongst you, and you might be inspired to apply here to Newnham College to study the sciences and make an extraordinary contribution to our understanding of the world, as Rosalind Franklin did all those years before.